What if someone you thought was your peer turns out to be a predator in disguise? A shocking discovery unfolded in Tampa, Florida. In a world where trust is already a rare commodity, the story of Alyssa Zinger sends chills down the spine. This 23-year-old woman played a dangerous game, posing as a 14-year-old girl to ensnare unsuspecting minors. But this was not her first brush with the law. Zinger had already been arrested in November, a dark foreshadowing of what was to come. As the days rolled on, the disturbing case began to unravel further. 4 more victims stepped forward, their ages ranging from 12 to 15 years old, each bearing the weight of their encounters with Zinger. This brought the total number of minors involved to 5, a staggering figure that has left the community reeling. The charges against Zinger are as chilling as her actions. She faces accusations of obscene acts and sensual annoyance against the minors, but it doesn't stop there. Zinger has also been charged with possession and transmission of child pornography through electronic devices, adding another layer of horror to an already gruesome case. The victims were not only subjected to physical abuse, but they were also cybernetically and sexually harassed, their innocence exploited in the most horrific ways. Yet, throughout all of this, Zinger managed to maintain the facade of a fellow student. She wove a complex web of lies, creating profiles on different social networks, imposing the life of a teenager, all while studying at home. The question that remains at the forefront of everyone's mind is, how did she manage to deceive these minors? All this while maintaining the facade of a fellow student. But how did she manage to deceive these minors? Deception and manipulation are at the heart of this case. Let's delve into how Zinger created her false identity. Alyssa Zinger, a 23-year-old woman, wove a deceptive web of lies, convincing unsuspecting minors that she was just another 14-year-old girl. She used the digital age to her advantage, creating profiles on various social networks, each one echoing the life of a typical teenager. Each comment, each post, each interaction was meticulously calculated, designed to sustain her false identity. She had a ready excuse for her absence from school, claiming she was being homeschooled. It's a common enough occurrence these days, and it added a layer of believability to her deception. The primary platform for her interactions was Snapchat, an application popular among teenagers. It's easy to see why she chose it. Snapchat's temporary nature, with messages and pictures disappearing after being viewed, provides a veil of secrecy, a perfect shield for her illicit activities. Her victims were students at Wilson Middle School, located in the Hyde Park neighborhood. Imagine being a student there, thinking you're interacting with a peer, not knowing the reality behind the screen. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? Now, it's important to remember that Zinger didn't just create a false identity. She lived it. She put on a mask, a performance, convincing those around her that she was someone she wasn't. This wasn't just a case of catfishing. No, Zinger's deception was far more intricate, far more dangerous. The digital age has made it easier for predators to hide behind screens. But how did this deceit come to light? Unmasking a predator takes diligence and keen observation. In this case, an alert teacher played a crucial role. Imagine you're a teacher and one of your students confides in you about a romantic relationship with a peer. This isn't just any peer, but a 14-year-old girl who is, in reality, a 23-year-old woman. That's what happened in this case when one of the minors bravely revealed his relationship with Alyssa Zinger to a teacher. This revelation was the spark that ignited the investigation. But it wasn't the only alarming incident. One day, Zinger was caught stealing alongside one of her victims. Picture the scene. Officers arrive, expecting to deal with a straightforward case of shoplifting. But instead they encounter a woman claiming to be a 14-year-old girl. Zinger tried to maintain her false identity even in the face of the law. She insisted she was born in 2009, but when pressed for evidence, she could provide none. So the authorities, faced with a potentially dangerous situation, decided to dig deeper. They began to untangle the intricate web of lies Zinger had spun. It was clear this wasn't just a case of mistaken identity or a single act of deception. This was something far more sinister. As they delved into the case, they discovered Zinger's extensive use of social media to prey on her victims. She had expertly crafted profiles on various platforms, posing as a teenager studying from home. The police had a daunting task ahead of them. They had to sift through countless messages, posts and interactions to find hard evidence against Zinger. The authorities were now on her trail, but they suspected there was more to uncover. They knew they were dealing with a calculated predator who had gone to great lengths to disguise her true intentions. The discovery and investigation had only just begun. When the police dig deeper, they often find more than what meets the eye. In Zinger's case, this was sadly true. As the authorities peeled back the layers of deceit, they uncovered a chilling reality. There were more victims. The investigation expanded, casting a wider net to catch the full extent of Zinger's actions. In the wake of her initial arrest, 4 more brave survivors stepped forward, painting a harrowing picture of manipulation and abuse. Their accounts echoed the same disturbing pattern. Zinger, masquerading as a 14-year-old girl, had violated their trust in the most unthinkable ways. This brought the total number of minors involved to 5, all between the tender ages of 12 and 15. The Tampa police officers, who had been meticulously investigating this case for over a year, were dealt a heavy blow. Their tireless efforts had revealed a broader scheme, one that was far more sinister than they had initially suspected. Through their diligence and attention to detail, they were able to expose the interactions, which were mainly developed through the Snapchat application, with the minors who attended the Wilson Middle School, located in the Hyde Park neighborhood. As a result of these findings, Zinger's charges multiplied. She was now facing 2 counts of obscene acts and another 2 for sensual annoyance against the minors. But the charges didn't stop there. The accused was also slapped with charges for possession and transmission of child pornography through electronic devices and for cybernetically and sexually harassing her victims. The police's relentless pursuit of justice had paid off. Their long-term investigation had finally led to Zinger's arrest, effectively pulling the plug on her elaborate web of lies. But the victory was bittersweet. The realization that there were more victims was a stark reminder of the devastating impact of Zinger's actions. While justice was served, this case leaves us with a lot to ponder. It's a chilling reminder of the dangers lurking behind the screens of our devices. It's a wake-up call for parents, educators, and all adults to take an active role in monitoring the online activities of our young ones. And above all, it's a call to arms to ensure that our systems of justice are robust enough to handle such complex and far-reaching cases of abuse. As disturbing as this case is, it serves as a grim reminder of the dangers lurking in our digital world. In the face of such realities, it's essential we harness the power of education and communication to safeguard our children from the potential pitfalls of the online realm. Let's consider the crucial role of online safety. With the rise of digital platforms, children and teens are increasingly navigating spaces that blur the boundaries between reality and illusion. It's not enough to simply understand the technology. We need to foster a sense of digital citizenship, teaching our children to critically evaluate the information they encounter and the people they meet online. By doing so, we equip them with the tools to discern deception and protect themselves from harm. Parental supervision, too, plays a pivotal part in this equation. While it's important to respect the privacy of our children, it's equally necessary to maintain an open dialogue about their online activities. Encourage your children to share their digital experiences and be ready to step in when red flags appear. It's about striking a balance between trust and vigilance. In addition, schools and peers have a responsibility to be alert to signs of distress or unusual behavior. It's through collective vigilance that we can create a safer environment for our children. If something seems off, don't dismiss it. Report it, because it's better to be safe than sorry. We must also remember to support victims. In situations like these, it's easy for blame to shift onto those who were manipulated. We must resist this. Instead, let's foster an environment where victims feel safe to come forward, where they are met with understanding and empathy, not judgment. They need to know that they're not alone, that there are people ready to listen and help. And finally, let's not forget the importance of resilience. Yes, the digital world can be a scary place, but it's also filled with opportunities for connection, learning, and growth. Let's teach our children not just to fear the internet, but to use it wisely, to be the masters of their digital lives, not the victims. In a world where deception is just a click away, let's strive for awareness, vigilance, and empathy to keep our children safe.